As I said, my name is James Harris. I'm honored to be here and excited about what's being accomplished through these conferences. I hope that what you see and hear will encourage you and build your faith. I grew up on the south side of Chicago in a neighborhood that bred despair and desperation. Hopelessness was a way of life and still is for many. Each day was filled with death. I was the middle child of 9 children and was considered the misfit of the family, as I never knew my father and wondered how I fit in. In my neighborhood, poverty was always around, and it was a way of life. My then role models were pimps, prostitutes, drug dealers, gamblers. My mother was an alcoholic, and I imitated the things that I saw around me. There wasn't any male guidance around, and I sought direction from all the wrong people who would show me some attention. As I started to drink and smoke marijuana at the age of 12, it gave me a sense of direction, and my drug usage was my escape from the world that was around me. I became the guy who would test the new drugs as they came on the scene. I pretty much played Russian roulette with my life with each experiment and became known as the guy to go to if you wanted to know if your drugs were any good or not. They called me Junkie Man, and I was proud of the name. Eventually and slowly, I began to lose all hold on reality. I lost any respect for anything, including myself. This led to my becoming a walking zombie, eating out of garbage cans and becoming the neighborhood junkie who was out of his mind. The cycle of getting and using drugs was vicious and consumed my every waking moment and would not allow me to sleep most nights. By now, I had nowhere to live. My family didn't trust me, friends were long gone, and so I would ride the L trains to stay warm at night. Abandoned buildings were plenty, and they became a haven for survival, as no one wanted me around if I had no money for drugs. I would sneak in these buildings at night and get into a corner to be able to fend off any animals or rats that I felt was intruding in their space. This one building I remember as I almost froze to death. I was under about 15 blankets, and a dog looking for a place to sleep came in and woke me up, and that's the only thing that saved me. The next night I spent on a bench in a police station, and that morning I woke up as a prodigal son and called a guy that tried to share with me about getting my life straight with God. At this point, I had been using drugs for 20 years, almost a lifetime, and hating a father I didn't know for almost 35 years. I came to Zion, Illinois, and went through a drug program and realized I was in a mental prison. Then I got saved and switched my addictive personality to seeking God. While serving in ministry, I met my wonderful wife, who was a blessing from God, and I showed myself faithful in the work of the ministry and was ordained a deacon and began to see the hand of God on my life. I was also entrusted to become an armor bearer to my pastor. Then I was introduced to a man that became a spiritual father to me also. What he taught was revolutionary and life-changing, to say the least. I was given a tape series, Awakening the Great Multitude Mind. It was like a light going off in my brain. I pursued all the other teachers that were available and began to apply them to my life. My mind was now open to anything that concerned increase. God allowed me to pursue my realtors and my life insurance license, and I dived into financial education for myself and was given a vision that I would also be able to teach others. In my first 4 years of marriage and the teachings of increase, God and the teachings of increase showed us how to purchase 4 investment properties, making our net worth close to $1 million. This from a man who had no credit and a wife who had a bankruptcy from a previous bad marriage. Our current home, which is our 5th property in 7 years, I earned commission on the purchase of that home. No one else out of the 9 siblings in my family has, even still to this day, owned a home or a car. We purchase our cars. I drive a BMW 700 series. My wife drives an X3 SUV, using tips from a tape we got from Bob. My testimony is a testament to the fact that the increased message is not a message based on race, creed, education, or background. If applied to your lives, it will reap benefits beyond measure. I thank God for Dr. Bob Harrison, for giving up his life to spread the message of increase as it impacts not only nations, like in Brazil, but generations, because now I teach my son about increase.